Hi, Assalamualaikum. In this video, we are going to discuss sum and difference rule, product rule, and quotient rule. We continue these rules from the previous video. Number 4 is sum and difference rule. If we need to differentiate fx plus or minus gx, so the answer should be f prime x plus or minus gx. What we do is we just differentiate fx, then we have f prime x. After that, we differentiate gx, then we have g prime x. What we do is we just differentiate one by one if the symbol in between of the two functions is plus or minus sign. It's so simple. Okay, for example, if we have y equals to x cubed minus 2x squared plus 2, when we differentiate y, so the symbol is dy over dx, and then we differentiate x cubed, so the answer is 3x squared using power rule, and then we differentiate 2x squared, so the answer is 4x, and then we differentiate Z2. Z2 is a constant because no variable x. And the answer when we differentiate constant should be equals to 0. Actually, 0 no need to write. So the final answer is 3x squared minus 4x. Means that when we have plus or minus sign between the given function, so what should we do is we just differentiate one by one. Okay, now we discuss number 5, which is product rule. If we have two multiplication function, when we differentiate, we can use formula vu prime plus uv prime. In this product rule formula, in order to avoid mistakes and easily memorize, we must first write the vu prime. This is because it will look similar to quotient rule in the numerator that we'll discuss later. And in this case, u is the function and v also is the function. Let we look the example. If we have y equals to x squared times x minus 3, okay, the relationship between these two functions is multiplication. So what should we do is we need to use product rule. When we use product rule, we need to identify u and then find u prime and identify v and find v prime. In this case, our u is x squared, and then we differentiate using power rule, which is 2x. And then our v is x minus 3, and when we differentiate, it's equals to 1. Then we can differentiate using product rule. First, we write the formula of product rule, dy over dx equals to vu prime plus uv prime. And then when we differentiate, we just substitute v and u prime into this formula. And then in between is plus, and then we substitute u and v prime into this formula. Okay, like this. This is v and we substitute here. This is u prime and we substitute here. This is v prime, we substitute here. Okay, and then we simplify it, and the final answer is 3x squared minus 6x. This is an example for using product rule. Actually, this example is much easier if we finish like this. If we are given y equals to x squared times x minus 3, which is the same question, we can expand first because bracket with no powers or bracket the power of 1. So we can straightforward expand it. So we have x squared times x, we have x cubed, and x squared times negative 3, so we have minus 3x squared. Then we just differentiate one by one using sum and difference rule because in between of the two function is minus sign. So we just differentiate x cubed, so the answer is 3x squared, and we differentiate 3x squared, so the answer is 6x. So the final answer for derivative is 3x squared minus 6x. When we compare using product rule, we have same answer. Math is magic. If the working is logic, the answer would be the same, even we use different ways. Rule number 5 is quotient rule. If we have quotient function, when we differentiate, we can use formula vu prime minus uv prime over v squared. This formula is similar to product rule, but in between is minus sign. And remember, always write vu prime in front to avoid error. And in this case, u is the function in x and v also a function in x. For example, if we have y equals to x squared over x minus 3, this is division function or quotient function where numerator has variable x and denominator also has variable x. So what should we do? We can use quotient rule, and firstly we need to identify u. U must numerator and v must denominator. Okay, so our u is x squared, and then we need to differentiate using power rule, so we have 2x. And v equals to denominator x minus 3, and when we find v prime, so we have 1. And then we differentiate using quotient rule. First, we write the formula of quotient rule, vu prime minus uv prime over v squared. Then we just substitute what is u, what is v, what is u prime and v prime. Okay, like this. We substitute v equals to x minus 3 in here and in denominator also. And then we substitute u prime equals to 2x here. And then we substitute u equals to x squared here. And then we substitute v prime equals to 1 here. And then we simplify. We just expand and simplify numerator only. No need to expand denominator. Okay? And then after we simplify, the final answer is x squared minus 6x over x minus 3 squared. So far, I have just provided a simple example to discuss the use of product rule and quotient rule. This is because it is limited to the rules I discussed earlier. I will discuss more examples of product rules and quotient rule after all have been discussed. Coming up next, rule number 7, generalize power rule. So stay tuned. Bye. See you.